Hi, I was asked to say a few words about the history of the road home with the West Choirs. And this is a low budget, unrehearsed, unscripted story. So here we go. So back around, I'm going to say 2006 or so, 2007, somewhere in that time frame, the concert choir was invited to sing at the American Choral Directors Association regional convention, which was a super huge honor. And we were preparing a program called Songs of the Upper Midwest. It was a thematic or a themed program of songs from Wisconsin and the heritages that make up Wisconsin. Your German immigrants, some Native American songs, Swedish, Norwegian, all sorts of things, songs from Wisconsin composers too. So we had elected to finish our set with a piece called The Road Home, which was a new piece at the time that I found that really kind of summed up the whole concert. It summed up all the different heritages that were the music of Wisconsin that were what we were presenting that day at the concert for the convention. Well, anyway, tragically then, in the week before the concert, a student from West passed away in a automobile accident, which ironically, I don't know if that's the right word, I was on my way home that Friday afternoon and I passed by it on my way home because it was literally 3 blocks from my house, right by where Les Paul Parkway crosses the bridge by St. John Newman by the river there. And I saw the accident. And my daughter, who was walking home from her bus ride with Central Middle School, heard it happen. And so anyway, it was not good. And of course, word had spread about that. And then on Monday at school, when such a thing happens, there's quite a bit of grief, and the counselors were involved, and there were a few assemblies. I think there was one in the auditorium because the student that passed away was a band student, and many of the music kids were very close, as they are every year. Well, anyway, the day went on, and the kids asked me, do you think I could get 4 of my friends together, go sing The Road Home during passing time, because it makes us feel better in our grieving process? So I was like, of course. I mean, why not? That's like the human, normal, good thing to do. So that happened. And then the next hour of passing time, more kids started doing it. And next thing you know, it became a very serious part of the grieving, of the healing process, I should say. They were using music to heal. So what a great thing for that to be available for the students in that tragic time. Well, anyway, it came to be Wednesday of that week, and we voted in concert choir whether or not we wanted to go on with the convention, because we were supposed to leave Wednesday after school, and the funeral was Wednesday after school. And they still wanted to go, but on our way to perform at this national convention, our first stop with the choir was at the funeral home on Grand Avenue. And the choir came in off the buses. We had 2 buses for the choir. It was pretty big at the time. And coach buses. And they came in and they saw their friend there, and they circled the entire, I don't know if you would call it congregation or what, but the people seated there, and they sang The Road Home to their friend laying there in the casket. and it was pretty powerful moment. And after that, they got out on the buses and we rode out to the national convention, and it was just, to start a choir trip like that. Ah, man, that was just a crazy experience, crazy in a extremely moving, human, personal way. But it's part of life and death. And we went on to a performance that was heartfelt. Well, anyway, we came back on, and that piece of music, by the way, that we performed there and told that story at the convention to many of our colleagues who are from Wisconsin, came out to hear us. They picked up on that piece of music because it was new. Well, anyway, following that, we came back, and on the Friday morning after concert choir, they're like, "Can we sing that song just to finish our week?" And of course, I said, of course. And so we sang it, and there were tears, hugs, everything, part of the grieving process and so forth. And the next Friday rolled around, and we did it again. And it came to be that when we were done with it, I would always make some sort of speech, life is fragile, take care of each other, make good choices this weekend. I'd give them some fatherly advice best I could. And because they all learned too well how fragile life was. And from those days on, every Friday, we eventually migrated to the lobby because the acoustics were better. But we'd do the same thing. And we'd stand, hold hands in a circle and sing it, and give each other messages of good messages for the weekend, and to take care of each other, And so and this went on and for many years after that. In fact, when kids started taking it for granted, they would stand up and say, "Hey, this is really important. Don't go freestyling harmonies and stuff like that. This is an important part of who we are, and so do a good job." So they took care of the song and passed it down from year to year. And I've come to know that there are other choirs in this area who've also adopted Friday Song after we first introduced it, if you will, at that convention to all our colleagues. And now I know for sure at least Brookfield East is using it, and they sing it at many of the other high schools in the area. And I'm just so glad that something that we had offered and went through with some pain is able to also go out and help other people in other places, which is kind of like what the gift of music is all about anyway. So, long story short, that's the history behind Friday Song. So keep singing it and keep sharing it and take care of each other and make good decisions this weekend. Peace.